Hi, welcome back to Movie Review Mom. Today, the movie I'm reviewing is The Art of Racing in the Rain. This movie is rated PG, making it family friendly. It's 1 hour and 49 minutes, and the Movie Review Mom grade that I gave it is a B+. I actually really enjoyed this movie. First of all, a lovable dog, Milo Ventimiglia. That's a winning formula for a tearjerker movie, right? So if you're a fan of This Is Us, which I am, you've probably been anticipating this movie, like I have, and are prepared to go to the theater with tissues to wipe your inevitable tears. Good plan. The movie is based on the book The Art of Racing in the Rain, a novel by Garth Stein, and it's directed by Simon Curtis. And isn't so much a dog movie or a racing movie, but really an insightful look at life's journey, self-discovery, and the relationships we build as seen through the eyes of a dog. The movie is extremely contrived and manipulative, yet dog lovers just won't care. In fact, critics have been giving it really bad marks because they see the flaws in it, but audiences see the heartfelt messages and they love it. So a movie about a dog is a surefire box office crowd pleaser, right? It sells tickets. My heart broke in the very first scene. I just was like, oh no, because our family dog of 14 years recently passed away, and I just sobbed for days. So yes, I cried in this movie as well. Again, you don't know exactly what's happening, but tears are coming, and like I said, it's manipulative. The music starts telling you when to cry, and you cry. It's just inevitable. Some quick tips for parents are there's a dog that talks about a girl's plump buttocks, and then the camera zooms in on a girl's rear end. Other than that, there are some premarital relations. You don't really see stuff, but you see a woman in bed, so you know what happened. A woman screams while giving birth, but you don't see anything. You just know that it happened. There's some scenes with a dog relieving himself in various ways. That's supposed to be humorous. Kids will probably laugh. Someone dies, which you probably smelled coming. A custody battle that young kids probably won't understand. There's some lawyer scenes and talking scenes that your kids probably won't quite understand, but that's okay. They'll move on and enjoy the rest of it. Some positive themes are don't quit, and the techniques needed on the racetrack can also be used to navigate through life. And I really liked the lessons that were shared by the dog as he observed what was happening, and then he would pontificate or just make simple statements that were actually pretty profound and very true. Other themes are balance, anticipation, and I love the metaphor, first of all, of rain being an unpredictable element in racing, and how we all have rain or unpredictable elements in our life that we have to deal with. There's the advice to focus on the present, not dwelling on the past, but never forgetting the future. And Enzo, who is voiced by Kevin Costner, says the great driver will drive through the problem. The great driver finds a way to keep racing. And that's kind of the plot of the story, really, in a nutshell. Denny, who's played by Milo, says you have to take a risk if you want to win. Again, part of that theme. And Enzo, the dog, also says a true champion can accomplish things that the normal person would consider impossible. And then he also says death is not the end. So some other things that I really liked are, first of all, I liked Kevin Costner as the voice of this golden retriever. I've read some reviews where people didn't like it, but I thought that his voice kind of lends itself to a dog with wisdom. And I just thought it matched the breed of dog as well, and that faithful companion. So I liked Kevin Costner. However, I've always liked him. The movie tells us that in Mongolia, they believe that after a dog has lived 5 reincarnated lives, it will come back as a human. It's such an interesting idea. It's mentioned a couple of times in the movie, and then something else happens, and you just go, well, that's interesting, but a little far-fetched, but still interesting. I think Amanda Seyfried is so lovely and talented, and I'm always happy to see her in the movies. Although I wish they could have figured out a way for her to have sung because she has such a sweet voice. They could have. She could have just been in the kitchen singing, and I would have gone, oh, thank you, because I really like her. It just seems like such a talent to waste. There were some professional racers, Justin Marks and Tanner Faust, who did all of the on-track scenes as Milo's character was supposed to be driving. Blue screens were used when he was in the Turner Motorsports M4 GT4 scenes. Just as a little side note, there's this dancing zebra scene that was just really funny and totally random and super entertaining as a little side gag that runs throughout the movie. And I just thought that that was so funny. And another thing that Doug explains is that we're here on earth to learn certain lessons. And once we do, we can move on. And I believe that too. I believe that we are here to learn lessons. And the lessons that the dog shares are actually really good and worth watching this movie with your kids to talk about some of these lessons and how to apply them in our lives. I think it is a good family-friendly movie. A few things that I didn't like is, first of all, that it is very melodramatic. And like I said, I felt manipulated the entire time. I didn't care, but I did still feel manipulated either way. More humor would have been a nice balance to the ever-present sorrow. There's illness and battles in courtrooms, and it's just pretty heavy. So a few lighter moments interspersed would have been nice. And there are, I'm not saying that there isn't any humor, there is, but it's pretty heavy at times, and you just feel like you're being constantly barraged by, kind of a downer and sorrow, and you're just like, drowning in the sorrow. And then, for what it's worth, I thought that Eve picked a very strange time and place to announce that she was pregnant. She just sort of blurted it out as they're walking down the street. And so this is my moment for my cheap shout out, my little shameless plug. If you're pregnant and you want a way cooler way to announce your good news to family, friends, or the father, then check out my fun book called Baby Announcement Ideas and Gender Reveals, 200 creative ways to share your great news. Right, and then I'll finally leave you with one last line that one of the racing coaches says. He says, there's no dishonor in losing a race. There's only dishonor in not racing because you're afraid you're going to lose. And I thought that that was a really good life lesson as well. If you do watch this with your kids and you're Christian, you might want to talk to your children about the difference between reincarnation and resurrection, because there's a little doctrinal point there. There are two movies that have also come out about dogs that also talk about reincarnation. One is A Dog's Way Home and one is A Dog's Journey. And they're actually not connected, but they both have a similar theme. So it's just an opportunity for you, again, to have a conversation with your kids about what you believe and why you believe that. Anyway, I think you'll enjoy this movie, and be sure and subscribe. Visit my moviereviewmom.com website where you can read more of the lines that I quote from the movie, the funny ones, the interesting ones. And be sure and visit our new Facebook group where you can hang out with like-minded people who love movies like you and I do. Anyway, thanks for visiting. Bye for now.